Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found on the public domain. I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everybody to do their own research. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Sunday the 29th of December. I'm going to talk today about the issues of where Harry and Meghan actually are. There's been some debate recently over social media about who thinks they're in Canada and who says that they have been refused, or rather she has been refused entry to Canada. Now, I've touched on Toronto Paper 1 before on this channel, and while it's humorous, I'm not willing to believe what they say until something that they have said proves to be true, because it's all been smoke and mirrors at this point. What I do on this channel is report on the news, and the news has said that they are indeed, in fact, in Canada. So please bear with me. I am going to report for the fact that the news is saying they're there. So that's where I'm going to be focusing on. I don't go in for smoke and mirrors. I go in for cold, hard facts. Doesn't necessarily mean that I have a difference of opinion. I do, but I also want my channel to be up and running for a long time. Do I think that they're both together? I do, but I don't think everything is rosy in the world of the Harkles. Now, the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, or however much you pronounce it, announced that he was welcoming Harry and Meghan, and of course Archie, into Canada, and you are amongst friends and are always welcome here. So, I mean, it's got to be a pretty big lie if he's saying they're there and they're not there. But, you know, I'm going to err on the side of caution here. So he announced this, and basically then we knew where they were. They're in Canada. We didn't know where they were because it's a rather large place. So then news started to trickle from locals who had noticed something rather odd going on in a humongous $14 million mansion on a Vancouver island. Nobody knows who actually owns this huge estate. It's an American-based billionaire, and they apparently are staying there. Locals noticed that cameras and fences were going up, so that indicates that Harry and Meghan weren't even happy with what they already had planned. You'd think that a multi-million-pound property would have decent security, wouldn't you? Nope, not good enough for the Harkles. They wanted even more. So locals then saw more cameras going up, more fences going up, and lots more security. Personally, this is rather cheeky if you ask me. I mean, who also paid for this? Who's paying for the changing cameras, the changing fences, the changing security, the amount of security? Because locals have been saying that security is absolutely swarming, much more than normal. Who is paying for this? Are we, the British taxpayer, paying for this? Or is it Harry and Meghan themselves? Don't think so, really. I doubt it very much, but they may well surprise me. However, could it be Canadian taxpayers that are paying for this security too? They are not on their royal working duties. This is their downtime, or so we're led to believe. We have been told that she might be working, drumming up support for her foundation. Are these excessive costs then able to be offset against their expenses for the foundation? But locals have confirmed that they have seen security people dressed in Barber jackets, rolling around in black Range Rovers, which we all know is the MO for the Royal Security Guards. So basically they're staying in the opulence of luxury. Fair play to them if they can actually convince a wealthy billionaire to let them stay there. I want to know who it is though. It does seem rather strange that this property was sold and then the owner wasn't ever announced. Nobody knows who owns this property. And I find that incredibly strange, if I'm perfectly honest. Then there's the issue is that if they are in Canada, we all know, and I've said this in my previous videos, we know that they got there by private jet. There's no question about this because you cannot make everybody on a flight sign a non-disclosure agreement. So therefore we know that they travelled via private jet because somebody would have said they had seen them. Because let's face it, everybody wants a piece of them at the moment, and there are big bucks out there if you have a tip. I find it quite laughable really that only a probably 4 years ago, this cable actress that really wasn't making much waves in the area of acting and Hollywood is now staying at a billionaire's playground. The issue that I have with all of this is that they screamed and shouted that they needed a break. This is longer than 6 weeks. It's extended. They have a job to do. But while on this extended break that they desperately needed to have family time, she's doing work for her foundation. We all know it's hers. It's not Harry's. I mean, you just have to look at the emblem of their Royal Sussex, whatever it is. It's an M. It's not a H. We all know, you can clearly see it's an M. She's not interested in being a royal, in my personal opinion, and she's not interested in us Brits one little bit. We pay for her lifestyle, but she really doesn't give two damns about us, does she? And this is becoming quite evident. How can you possibly think it's okay to live in such opulence while the majority of the British taxpayers are wondering how that they're going to pay their mortgage, how they're going to pay the food bill, what's the gas bill going to be like this year? You know, these are first world problems because they are the problems that the working person has. I don't think she will ever understand what it is to be British and to be proud of our country, because I don't think she's ever got any interest in it. The only person that Meghan wants to benefit is herself. And I don't think she's got any interest in Harry at the moment. She sees global domination as her end game. And she will step on anybody and everybody to get it. Then the story gets a little bit stranger because it was mentioned in the media that they dined at this restaurant called Deep Cove Chalet. And apparently they had a very intimate little gathering there. Allegedly no phones were allowed and they all had to sign NDAs. But this is where it gets really tricky. Somebody called the restaurant and they said that no, they refused the actual booking of Harry and Meghan because security would be just too much trouble. Although he says that he's never actually set eyes on Harry and Meghan, it's then transpired that the security team did come and speak to the restaurant owners. I think it was his wife. And she did, in fact, say, no, thank you very much. We don't need that much hassle. And I actually feel quite sorry for the poor owners because they are now being completely slated on social media. In fact, a lot of people have actually called the restaurant demanding to know why they refused service and why they didn't take their booking. And can you imagine the hassle that this man is getting now? Because he literally just said, no, thank you, it's too much hassle. I don't want the media scrutiny. And people are calling out and campaigning to boycott this restaurant because they didn't let them eat there. I think it's quite shocking, to be perfectly honest, to go after a business because they refused service. Anyway, on other news, it seems that the charity, the Royal Foundation, Sussex Royal, whatever it's called, has now published papers or submitted papers to the Intellectual Properties Office website to trademark all manner of things on behalf of their foundation. Now, a lot of people are getting up in arms about this one. It's normal. Kate and William's Royal Foundation has done exactly the same. However, there is a massive difference between these two because I think the way that Meghan and Harry are drawing their own foundation is going to be a very different way completely that William and Catherine do. I don't trust them one bit. The way that they are raising this, they're raising funds. It's just polar opposites of the two foundations. And an interesting blind came up that I'd like to discuss with you. I've discussed Blind Gossip, the website, on many occasions on this channel. I've discussed Meghan's merching potential. I've discussed TikToks. I've discussed their foundation and the way that it's set up and who's running it. There are videos there that you can catch up on. But for this purpose, I'm going to be discussing the merching potential of the foundation and of Archie. Now, they released a blind yesterday saying that there is a reason why the Archie is not being shown very much. And quite honest, we all know why. In my own personal opinion, They are basically hiding him or showing him very little because it drums up more interest. The less you show something, the more people want to see it. It is PR 101. Drum up interest by taking away what people want to see. What you can't see, you want to see. It's easy. But they do it under the umbrella of privacy, and this isn't the case. What they're actually doing is keeping the sightings of Archie rare because they are trying to monetize the situation without the rest of the family finding out. And this is where these trademarks come in. They are basically going to monetize their foundation on everything and anything they can get. And it's also been suggested that they are modeling it, which we all knew they would, on the Clinton Foundation. But they think that they can do it bigger and better. I will always say, watch out for this foundation. It's only just getting started. It's going to be launched in the spring of next year, and I think we've seen nothing yet. There's going to be a lot more coming. Would you put it past Meghan Markle to monetize her baby and basically squeeze every single penny she can out of the innocent child? There are issues with this because there's been a website registered, which was registered well before the wedding. There was archieharrison.com. Now, I actually think that this is a complete coincidence. Unfortunately, in the actual background of the website, you can't see who owns this website. It would be very interesting to see who registered this domain. I don't think it has anything to do with the Sussexes, but that's my personal opinion. I think that no matter how much mud you fling at them, some of it will stick, some of it won't. And I think this, although I don't believe in coincidences, I think this is just maybe making the connections a little bit too tangible and they're not strong enough. Possibly, who knows? You would never put anything past Meghan Markle, but I think that with regards to her foundation, we really do need to watch what's going on because there will be quite a lot of sleight of hands. So what do you all think of the things that I've discussed in today's video? It's a longer one than normal. I thought I'd treat you. What do you think of where they're staying in Canada? Do you believe they're there, or do you think, like some do, that she's been refused access to Canada? Who is the mystery person that owns this multi-million-pound mansion? Do you think that they deserve a break? Do you think that they're there? What do you think of the security being beefed up if this is true? Who do you think should pay for that? Is it right that we pay for it? Do you think we need some transparency on who's paying for this whole thing? What do you think about the issues with the Deep Cove Chalet? Do you think it's right that they said that they didn't attend? Do you think it's right that they're being slated for refusing to serve and have their booking? And what do you think of all the palaver over the trademarks of the foundation? Do you think it's going to lead to trouble? And the murching of poor Archie? I really hope not, to be perfectly honest. One thing I will say, where the hell is our Queen in all of this? And finally, are you looking forward to them coming back to the UK? Will they actually come back, or have they been booted out for good? As always, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. Thank you to everyone that has donated to my channel. I'm overwhelmed with your generosity and kindness. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon.